Hey guys, welcome back to Sid Meier's Civilization 6 Frontier Pass as Kublai Khan of China, and you're probably asking yourself, why am I not on the game map screen? Well, in an effort to fix the queue issue I was having in the Kublai Khan game we were playing, I removed it entirely, and then I added the CQ UI newest edition, so I added that in there. And found that it was a little too crowded of gameplay. So then in my game I'm playing off camera, so I ended up removing the CQ UI as well. And so in the process of removing it and the queue, it affected the files in our Kublai Khan game. Didn't seem to affect affect my off-camera game because I wasn't running the older queue mod. So what I'm going to do to make it up to you guys is we were on about turn 257, and I was trying a strategy that a few of us as YouTubers were playing around with. I'm not actually using Otter's actual game file. I'm going to stick to our Kublai Khan game. So we were on about turn 257, and so I'm going to try that strategy just right off the bat here in this game and kind of bring you in around the time that we were in the previous game. So if anything particular comes up along the way, I'll bring you into that game. But I think on Thursday, February the 25th, 2021, they will probably fix this little snafu thing that I wanted to show you guys as we played Kublai Khan. So I'm going to go ahead and start this game and bring you in, if needed, along the way up until the turn 257. So we're starting this off with Beijing right here on the ocean, which is quite nice, especially when you're playing continents. We'll be able to get an early galley out, which will, of course, give us some era score. It looks like we'll be able to grab some oranges. As you can see here, I have a city pinned down. So hopefully we'll be able to get the city in the settler in 5 turns. Put our city down and probably buy this particular tile right here. I'm not incredibly enthusiastic with the amount of resources that we have, but if we get Maui early, we can run him around and throw down quite a few more and potentially get some additional resources, maybe some additional wine. And over here we have some olives. We have met Wilhelmina. She is running Hermetic Order, so she may not be the most enthusiastic with us or become friends with us very early in the game. We want to keep her at bay. I haven't exactly found where she is, but we did find a tribal village over here, which gave us an additional scout, which is quite nice. So I'm going to get this settler out. We're going to put a city down right here. We're going to grab these oranges and go ahead and start at least in the direction of securing some of these resources and hopefully keep Wilhelmina at bay. Now, of course, a lot of how the game unfolds will determine how much more forward we'll move with the game, but I'll try to keep the map consistent and keep what we're playing here so far. But we have met 3 of the city-states, which gives us some additional era score and boost Eurekas, which is quite nice. So this game is turning out to be quite nice. I'll try to get a religion in this game as well. We'll see how it all turns out. So this is where we are on turn 38 so far in our new game. Well, we've been pretty fortunate so far in the game. I meant to mention this earlier. When we were traveling about, we were able to find Owls of Minerva fairly early. So, of course, we selected them. And we get the envoy as well as the additional economic slot, which is great in the early game. So we were able to achieve that fairly early. And interestingly enough, we had a back-to-back-to-back wonder, or natural wonders. So that means that we have a series of heroes that we can select from. Now, I did get Mulan from a tribal village, but the rest we got from just back-to-back-to-back wonders, which was really impressive, which also helped us when it came to pursuing our religion. So we are working on that right now. I did have a barbarian come along and pillage. Of course, that's naturally going to happen. But I have Maui now. He's putting things down. We're moving right along. We have 3 cities so far. We have met Catherine, which is over here. And then we had Wilhelmina, who's over here. And, of course, Korea on this side. So that means that we will want to try to grab probably some real estate right over in here before she does. I wouldn't mind getting something like over in this area here, but that would be pushing it pretty hard. We're probably going to be fairly lucky just being able to maybe just go ahead and grab this area here. I think it's probably going to be a good choice. We did get iron, but it is over here next to this barb camp, which isn't a big deal. We can start a city over here just to grab the iron. But as I said, we are utilizing a particular strategy that, we may or may not need as many resources and so forth as a normal game, but we'll still consider it and play it as a normal game thus far. We are very fortunate to get this meteor strike that landed right over here next to this forest because we were all the way back here having just met Germany. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. But fortunately, our scout was able to make it all the way over there and take advantage of the meteor drop. And we have our galley now, which gave us some error score. We got another tribal village over here, and now I'm trying to get away. It was kind of a risky move, but I did want to grab that just in case we were potentially able to get another hero. And we have another meteor strike over here, and ironically enough, I am sending the unit that we got from the previous meteor strike to go get that one. So that's kind of just really helping us all out right now. And, of course, we are now getting our great profit, so we can start our religion. And I always like using the Tao symbol, or Taoism. We will get reliquaries, because this is partly part of the strategy for us to be able to do that. So we get tourism. So relics and hero relics have triple yield of both faith and tourism. And I think it's a little higher than that, but you'll clearly understand it as we go along in the game. It is quite amusing. And we were, able earlier, as I said, back to back to back. Natural wonders was really nice. I think we had a little bit of a flood over here a moment ago, so we'll have to consider a dam over here. I'm trying to get down the various campuses at the moment, but things are going along very nicely for this gameplay. And as you can see here, we have that is from Maui, and then after I make the trade route, I'm probably going to get Arthur and then have one of these other cities make an additional hero as well. So this is where we are so far in the game. So we got Arthur, and let me show you the neat thing he does. We can take Arthur here in just a moment. I wanted to show you that we discovered a neat little island over here that we could consider grabbing as a potential city, because as you can see, Wilhelmina has already pushed forward and grabbed a spot that I was considering. But that's the way the gameplay goes. We do play behind, and this is just king difficulty. I normally play on something a little higher, but so trying to get the cities down, trying to get things situated, of course. Playing from behind can be a little annoying if you're not going to war directly to war with other civs, because it's basically how you're going to get your cities in higher difficulties. You have to go to war. There's just no way around it. But I just wanted to show you a neat thing that with Arthur, especially if you're a little behind like we are, we can convert this unit into a knight, which is very nice. So this gives us some additional bonuses. So now we have 44 strength. The lifespan is only 13, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys what Arthur actually does. But should we need him, we'll have these particular knights here, and we'll just put him to rest here, and we'll continue to move along. Now, as you can see, I can put down an industry for oranges, but we're really going to want to do it over here. But I want to go ahead and work both of the ivories, so we'll get the additional bonuses. Now what I'll do is I'll come over here, and I will turn that into an industry, which will give us some additional bonuses. Yields. We'll get additional yields, and we'll get a bonus, which I'll show you here momentarily. I think I'm going to go ahead and just get another settler here as well, and just kind of get our cities down. And I think I'm going to start leaning towards Vatican City, since they are our neighbor. And we'll go ahead and flip them now for additional error score. And now we get Anasi, who is very nice. I'll send him around and grab up everybody's resources, especially oranges. If we can, we'll probably have to build him here in Shanghai, because we have built units in the other ones. I believe I built one in each city. I think I built Maui here in this city. So we are moving right along with Arthur. And as I said, we do have our one relic here. I tried to do an exchange, or Wilhelmina has one. And she won't offer us anything. Well, yeah, see, so basically everything we have is what she wants, which is not unusual. And if you are just going directly for that type of win, then you will of course go ahead and just buy it, because of course it will give you the tremendous amount of tourism for your victory. And we'll go ahead and get another envoy. We'll go ahead and plug it into Vatican City to make sure we hold on to them. I normally like to have them in front. So let's go ahead. So as you can see here, we'll get 2 additional food, 2 production, 1 gold, and 30 production towards military units in the host city. So each of the resources provide a different benefit. So if we want to build, well, so obviously in this city we're going to probably want to build an encampment district so that we can build units. Although I'm not really heavily focused on units, but we'll go ahead and put down our industry, and then we'll just keep working along. This will require that we do get a stock exchange here for that. Then we can, get the monopoly, and then we can start actually producing the product, which then has its own slot in a stock exchange, and you fill those up, and of course that's for tourism and culture and so forth. So we are moving right along. I'm very happy with our progress. We managed to land ourselves in a dark age, but the game itself is going quite well. I'm very happy. We were able to get Niter in 2 of our cities, which is very good. I did put down a few more cities, and I am entertaining the thought of making a little city over here on this island just for fun. We'll also have access to fish, and of course we'll have access to whales. And speaking of resources, we do have our merchant right here. I have to get to stock exchange before we can put down our corporation, but I have him ready. And also, we are the culture leader. We are plugging right along. We are 15 of 122 and continuing to build tourism. We really need to meet these additional civs because one of them has another of the relics, and I would like to get another relic for this spot to make our tourism even higher. And of course, at this moment, I am about to get a Nasi, which will give us another hero. And what I'm going to do is probably go and snag as many oranges as I can, and maybe ivory. Now, I'll have to actually look up oranges. Here's one here. It's not owned by a city. Actually, that was the city. That was where Wilhelmina had been. I completely overlooked that, but Wilhelmina had that city right there. So that means we can actually put a city down here ourselves. That would be an awesome idea. I think we could put one like right about here. Get the horses and the wheat. So let's go ahead and pin that. I knew she was at war, but I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to her. I was kind of just trying to grind through the game and get us back to where we were in the previous game. And we're almost there. We're at 232 turns at the moment. Our little city up here is struggling a little bit with food. But we'll probably get it like a trade route, or I'll get it like a builder over here and get some food. Need to go ahead and work this tile. We did have enough faith to buy back a hero, which you can do with faith. See, as you can see, we could buy Maui again, or we could buy Author again. But of course, if they die, you don't get the relic. So that's something you have to keep in mind. But I would like to get Hercules, but he's not available yet, and no one's used him. But I might just do like a little discovery for Hercules, because he is great for putting down districts. And another thing you have to keep in mind when you're making your heroes is that a city has to have a monument in it, and it has to be a newer city. So once you've completed building a hero in, say, like your main city or your secondary cities, you can't build a hero there again. Well, you can build the hero tails, which allows you to unlock another hero. But so if we wanted to continue to build heroes, we would have to make them in our other cities. And as you can see, it's 49 turns. You could technically, if you really, really, really wanted to pump them out, I could send like a builder over here and chop every one of these. As a matter of fact, we could, for example, we could send Magnus over here, and we could chop every one of these trees for additional turns and get yet another one. But again, like I said, we're not really playing for that level of speed. We're just kind of enjoying the game as we go along and the process. So I didn't want to necessarily just kind of rush everything. This little city right here is going to be really great once we get that builder out. And I still am thinking about getting a city over here, which would not be bad. Because, I mean, we've got all this great resources over here. And it is very high, as you can see, on the pressure list. But we could get like a city right on the niter. Or we could get one right here on this 10 and just send a governor over and then immediately start working the food tiles as quickly as we could and maybe even save a trade route to be able to get some food. That's something we could do. I'm not in a major big rush for that. Also, we are working towards cartography so that we can discover the other cities. I've had to plink, plink, and plink over here with this camp. And, of course, if this was our city, there'd be a million barbarians trying to rush over here. But, of course, since it's the AI, none of them are going anywhere. I did send our little scout over here and grab that. And we did grab the tribal village that's over there. As you can see, our scout is on his way back home. So let's go ahead and do a turn into this and get a Nai. We'll heal this unit up because we've been fighting a crossbowman over there on their side. No one's tried to wage war with us. No one has sent a single apostle or missionary over here, which is kind of amazing. I did evangelize our belief and expanded it out. So here's Anai. And we're going to go and try to find... Let's see if we can find... I see some oranges over here in Korea. So it seems kind of weird that you can just go into someone's territory, even if they're your friend or enemy, and just grab their resources. It's pretty funny, but I just wanted to show you that real quick. Okay, so we have a camp up there. And I did upgrade our units to swordsmen and then, of course, crossbowmen. Those are always very handy. So, see, we could do like a heroic tale for 13 turns and maybe get him. Maybe get it. But what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and get a builder. And probably just across the whole board. And just get all builders for right now. And in 3 turns, we'll shift the policies over. As you can see here, I got pagodas for the extra diplomatic favor so that we could win a lot of our little world congresses. We have plenty of faith here. So technically, yes, we could buy Maui again and just throw down some more resources. But he really put down a bunch of resources for us. I just experimented over here with this deer. So you can put them on hills and on forest as well if you want to do that, should that be something to consider. Let's go ahead and get friendship with Catherine. And I'm really amazed that we have as much money as we do, because I don't have but just a couple little couple of the different I lost my train of thought. Yeah, commercial hubs down. I keep thinking, is that a resource? I can't. No, that's just the guys with the white on them. Okay. So what we could do is well, we'll go ahead and we'll put a farm down here. Give us a bonus for farming. We'll get our scout back. Well, he can actually heal up here, because that is a friendly city-state. You can also heal up in areas where you have alliances, but we're not quite at alliances yet. Not that interested in her amber. I did buy a few tiles surroundings. Here comes a barbarian. This is always typically city center, so we're going to go city center here. And grievances. I'll just pick myself, or we could pick, well, let's pick, yeah, we'll just pick Korea. It doesn't really matter. It's probably going to be Catherine. It'll be city center and probably Catherine, but we'll see. So city center and unmet player. Let's get our scout out of the way here. We don't want him to get killed. And let's go ahead and work the ivory so we'll have more to sell. So when we do find those other civs, we're going to want to be able to have plenty of cash on hand and luxuries to trade so we can get that additional relic. And over here, I think I'm going to go ahead and get a market. I should have gotten walls, actually, come to think of it. So we got 2 more builds on this guy here. I think I will send him over to our little city here. And we'll go ahead and get the olives. And Anasi is heading over there to Korea to gobble up her oranges. That's still family friendly, right? I think it is. Let's go ahead and work the niter. And of course, our neighbor city here likes to jam up and block the way. So we got 13 more turns before we get to our cartography. I'm going to go ahead and make walls. Of course, these are all to get more tourism, which is, obviously why I'm doing it. And I think I will get Liang to have yet another extra governor in case we need them. And they're good for, she's good for districts. So I might actually send her to Shanghai. And let's go ahead and work the ivory. And I don't want to sell anything to the other civs. I want to save up as much as I can. We need to find out who that other civ is that has that relic and get that immediately off of them. As well as get our open borders rolling. Is this a hill? It is not. So we'll go ahead and just get a sawmill. That's the one we're sending him over here. No, we'll go ahead and get a sawmill here. And we'll just send this guy back over this way to kind of plink again. And it'll give him some good experience. So there's our niter, which is another thing we could use to trade. So we're going to want as many resources and luxury resources as possible to make that trade. And it looks like La Rochelle has forward settled us. Bastards. Okay, we can still work the plantation, or still work the olives, and then we can build an industry on it. Okay, we're just going to send you all the way over here. We'll send the instead of sending the scout to the new, I'll probably get a courser because they have additional movement. Coursers are great to explore with. They're also pretty strong, but they have a lot of movements, and that's just terrible. What she just did there. I would denounce her and go to war with her, but that's just... Look, we have olives over here, too. I didn't know that. Olives over here, too. I didn't know that till right now. And this is a cliff right here. So this whole shoreline is a cliff. So maybe I should just... Well, I'll just get him over here on the wheat, and we'll just park him there for a little while. Same thing I'm doing with the galley. We'll send the galley over there, too. And he is almost over here. Let's go ahead and get more oranges. Very nice. And what we'll do is once it gets on the oranges, I'm going to leave it on cartography, which should complete it because we get both science and culture each time we grab a resource. We'll also grab the ivory too. It just seems like such a terrible thing to do to somebody, to a civ, but it's the nature of the game. All right. This city over here really needs some food, but we are getting a builder built for them. We haven't had as much of an opportunity to build some wonders, which I would prefer to do, but maybe we can get some here shortly. Send you over here to the forest. And see, we could start a hero over here, but we do want to get a little bit of production over here going. We could actually get a industrial zone, but I think what would be more advantageous is maybe even put down some theater squares, which I have not done. But first, we're going to need to get some and once we get the builders down and stuff, you'll see. Okay, so this should complete cartography almost. All right, so it just seems weird you can just gobble up their resources like that. We go over here and grab the ivory, too. Absolutely. grab all that ivory. She's rude. All right. We gotta go around that way to get the ivory? Come on. All right. I think we'll get some more pop. Let's go clear that and get some more pop. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and just start putting down stuff here. And you can just stay here. And let's go ahead and get an armory, because we do get the bonuses for it. And we can work this orange over here as well. And we'll go ahead and get the olives. And let's see, we'd have to, okay, so we're going to own both of them. Perfect. So we're going to actually need this guy to go here and do that. So back to our little plinking over here. Of course, this crossbow is going to... I have no idea, guys, why in the world. I guess it's just part of the programming, but apparently barbarians don't go after the AI quite as aggressively as they would us, because you know if that... This whole thing would be covered with barbarians coming after us constantly. And watch, it's not even going to shoot the city. It's going to shoot us, of course. Of course. So let's go ahead and work those oranges. Let's go ahead and get out of here. So that's what I've been doing with him, just kind of going back and forth and plinking. This is just so bad. All right, so there's cartography.
Not all who wander.
So there's cartography, and then we'll just grab that ivory too and just start go. Okay, so we got a little bit of a hiccup there. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get walls. Although we could get, yeah, we'll get housing with barracks. So let's go ahead and do that. And we will get not in a big rush for banking. Well, there's no particular threat. So let's go ahead and go to banking. Yeah, that's so bad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get an industry here as well. As you can see, this will be another one that's production towards civilian units. But we'll get 2 food, 2 production, and 1 gold. Very nice. That worked out quite nicely.